welcome back. I happened to go overboard because I happened to see that Llewellyn had a sale going on for some tarot decks, and I happened to get a few of them. As you can see here, I had the Dark Mirror, the Mausolea, the Tarot Z. This is a collector's one, so I'm not opening this one on camera at all, just because it's a collector's one. So that'll be off to the side, but just so you know what I got. And then I also got the In-Between Tarot. I don't know how it's picking up on the camera or not, but I also got that one. And yeah, I thought I would go through and open those up, but then I also want to show some for the girlies who don't have expensive budgets that they could also try. But I also thought I would also go over this deck. I've had this deck for it's only been a few months. It hasn't been that long. I only had it for a few months, but it is shouting out a Black creator who's actually done some Lenormand cards, and I don't often see people use Lenormands, but I like them. I usually use the Lenormands for like when I do personal readings or, you know, readings for others and things like that. So yeah. But then I also thought I would show you some playing cards you can get from Five Below if you're still in the broom closet, or if you just don't have the money. I think all of these are nice. They deal with, one is affirmations, one is the astrology. They have some that deal with like fauna cards, flora cards. They, you know, mushrooms, herbs, flowers, things like that. And then they also have some with gems. Now, I won't go through and tell you specifically how to read cards, you know, kind of like in a tarot. I think just like with tarot, sometimes you have to come up with your own meaning. Sometimes they mean different things to you, or they come to you in a different way. But I figured these are awesome additional ways you could do it. However, I will note that if you notice, they all say 52. They do not have the big and little jokers. They do not have the jokers, which I will add. Those typically count as wild cards when you are doing tarot readings. But then I also had a wonderful gift from a friend. This is also a deck. Let me move these out the way. This is also a deck created by two Black women. It's called the Earthcraft Oracle. And because I typically don't do a lot of Oracle cards, as you notice, most of this buy was even Oracle cards that I got from Llewellyn. I don't really do a lot of Oracle cards. I have a lot of tarot cards. So lately I'm like, if I'm going to get any cards, let's make them Oracle cards. And she was getting rid of some of hers. So I happened to get her Earthcrafters. So these are a rehome deck, and I have to just cleanse them. But I am going to do a personal reading with them and kind of interview them and see if I like them, with, you know, how can I utilize them and things like that. Demi was excited. She was parting with these because I do a lot of, right now I'm currently working through a book called the Ancestral Tarot, and Message from the Ancestors I think is a beautiful addition to add to that collection when I'm doing my readings. Typically I usually like to use this deck, the Black Gold and the Hoodoo Tarot. I usually like to use those, or maybe the Divine Tarot. Sometimes I will use those for my Ancestral Tarot readings. So I think this would be a nice addition as well. So I'm going to sit those there so you can kind of see that. And then I was really surprised she was parting with this. This does not come with the book because, as you can see, that has the pretty much like the explanation and stuff like that on the back. But these are called the Dream Oracles. As you can see, very dream like artistry here. Like it's one in here. Okay, yeah. So like this one here is the Invisible Man or something, or you have the girl with the teeth falling out and things like that. Yeah, pregnancy ones, you get those all the time. She's sitting in fire. All of this, like all of these, so you can kind of see some of the imagery and then kind of like what they mean with the numbers and things like that. Malnudity. Yeah, I did that. So yes. So these are some of the collector ones that I just got, and I thought I can kind of cut this up and kind of do a run through and make it my card haul instead of like, or my divination card haul, just to kind of show you what I got. So with that, I'm gonna put these babies back up, put these back in here, and set these to the side so that we can go through these kind of like one by one. I'm gonna go through the new to the old, or maybe I should do old to the new. Yeah, let's do old to the new. And again, I won't be opening this one. This is a collector's item, so. So first things first, I'm going to go through the grandma babies. Okay, one thing I will say, the creator, I don't know if they had heard this comment from anybody else, but I will say when I got this packaging, it was easy to take the plastic shrink wrap off of it. The issue I had was in trying to open the damn box. I don't know if it's because everything was so matte and it just wouldn't open, and I damn near had to tear it off. So yes, the card box is horrible, but the cards are wonderful nonetheless. So this is, I think you can go to, is it Grandma's Baby Apothecary or something like that? I'll put it along the bottom so you can kind of see where you can get the cards. And basically the idea behind this one, I love supporting Black people in this space because it seems like you oftentimes, when it comes to mass decks, you don't find it. This isn't a mass deck either. Most of the time when Black creators or creators of color even, typically when you do, and mainly I mean Black and brown creators, and now I mean like if you're Indian, if you're indigenous, if you are Black, if you're Hispanic, or you don't find too many cards that's about that culture, those cultures in the mass market space. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I had some that kind of represented, that called to me, that actually have multiple representation. You don't see a lot of that. The day I find some, like, I'm still waiting for the day that I find some tarot, Lenormand, oracle cards that deal with love, and it involves Black and brown people of different body shapes and sizes, from skinny to slim, thick to fat, period. So yes, the whole point behind this deck here, the Lenormand deck, is that it pretty much just goes over it kind of goes through slavery and post-slavery imagery. So, you have the cotton and the baptism, you have the people leaving, this is birds, this is like a Black family get-together, a baptism again, you have the pastors, a young boy reading, this is a spiritual ceremony, you have this, I forget what this one is. It says, retrieve from the Library of Congress. Oh yeah, she also quotes where she gets the pictures and things, or they quote where they get the pictures from. But this is like two people, just standing. I think they were railroad workers, I think, in the book. Just a woman sweeping. You have them playing. You have the past. You have, the church again. You have a Black cowboy. You have a tree. Your typical Lenormand cards. I think some of the ones that are different is the ancestor ones, and she has one that says the diviner, or the inquirer. If I remember correctly, I don't think there's a man and a woman card in here. I think the ancestor and inquirer replaces those. So yeah, and then you have the clouds and the cover. Yeah, then you have the whip. But this is a nice deck. I usually use this for personal readings again, so this is why these aren't as broken in. I don't really do too many readings for myself, but I will use them as, an ancestral calling or something like that come up. So moving right on from, since we were talking about ancestors, So I think I've seen my friend use this deck a few times. And I often I wanted to buy this deck, but then I seen she had it, and I kind of was like, well, I'll just ask her if something like that comes up. So this one has something like, you have the storyteller, you have the master ancestor DNA, the writer, you have the lover, and they also have things, up in the corner, like other keywords as well. So you have adventure, explorer, nutrition and mother, ruler and leadership, shadow and darkness, you have teacher and knowledge, peacekeeper and serenity, you have gardening and cultivation, you have solidness and mineral, you have warrior and boundaries, you have shaman and spirit guide. I feel like I would get that a lot. You have movement and dancer, you have free spirit, rebel, you have air and breath, fire and passion, sound and musician, you have tree and balance. I would have thought this would have been something like ancestry or lineage too, the tree, because I always think of like the roots and then your, literally your family tree. And then you have the earth and life giver, you have creativity and artist, you have boundless and celestial, you have tempo and rhythm maker, you have the hero and courage, instinct and animal, you have the cover art here, which is grace and grandmother, you have the actor, performer, water, flow, cycles, moon, hunter and tracking, innocence and purity, you have message, communication, support, caregiver, seeding and plants, you have inventor and ingenuity, you have compassion and healer, craftsmanship and artisan, you have father and authority, you have conjuring, magician, mentor, coach, voice, singer, grandfather, presence, and lastly, inspiration and holy one. And so again, I can see me using this in culmination with my Hoodoo Tarot and my Lenormand Grandma's Baby. I usually use those a lot when I do ancestral tarot readings, just because, I don't know, it just works. I think my people respond to it. I do have a mixed family, I will say that, but that's why usually sometimes I feel like something is coming across in not the proper way, I usually use something like the Tarot of the Divine, or the Divine Tarot, forget what that one's called, and I oftentimes use that one or something like that to kind of like substitute and play things out. So yes, so that's the other day. Probably should put this small one underneath. Let me put these back in the box. I would say also, while you're watching me struggle with this, if you happen to know any other decks that are made by creators of color and you think I should check them out, let me know. Leave them down in the comment section so I can check them out, a link to them or something, so I can look and see what the cards look like, if I resonate with them, if I like them or not. And yeah, I would be glad to showcase those and highlight it. So then we have the Dream Tarot. So if I remember correctly, I want to say this one was Catastrophe. Oh, Apocalypse. So picture the words. Let me do it this way. So then you have sex, mild nudity, feeling trapped. You have trees, mountains, garden. I'm definitely going to use this for a personal reading in a minute. Being lost, losing something. You have numbers. You have castles, ancient buildings, and tombs. You have the beach. You have a car out of control or speeding. You have flying without wings. I also will point at this too. On here it shows top 10 dreams. It also showed it for the card too. Top 10 dreams. It shows top 10 dreams. So it kind of lets you know these are common things that people often have. And so then you have the religious or spiritual figures. I don't really have too many of those. You have a wedding, marriage. You have flowers. You have drowning. I definitely have a lot of insects and reptilian dreams. Animals. Yeah, animals come up a lot for me. I'm surprised that's not a top 10 thing. These don't have top 10? Wow, I'm a weirdo. Okay, transport. Then you have cell phones. I don't really have a lot of dreams about my cell phone. I used to have a lot of dreams about falling, but not too much now. Murder. I'm not going to get into that. Finding something valuable. You have books, writing words, shopping. You have musical instruments. You have school, superhero powers, money. I think this is also nice. So I don't know about anyone else, if anyone here, I don't know if anyone who's clicked on this video, if you also do, so I also do Akashic readings, and sometimes, I feel like oftentimes I get a lot of imagery when I'm doing those. No, it's not a lot of words, it's not a lot of explanations, it's mostly like imagery and feeling, and I have to really write those down, or like I really like to record those, because you know, it's spur of the moment, it's just like running out of me. I don't really have time to kind of like write it down, so I usually just record myself like a voice recorder. And I think these will also be nice if you do Akashic readings, because of the imagery. For me, a lot of times my Akashic readings kind of go hand in hand with dream work. So yeah. And then you have being late, elderly people, you have birds. I do get a lot of dreams about birds. Being unprepared, this is also a top 10 dream. You have water. I have a lot of dreams about that. Teeth falling out. This is a top 10 dream. I think I've had dreams about my teeth falling out when I was a kid, but not older. Body parts do come up a lot, but not in like dismemberment, but just, you know, I'll remember somebody in a dream from like their elbow. They had a particular looking mole or something on their elbow, and I remember that. So nudity, top 10 is also in there. Have a lot of those. Intruders, not too many of those. People, yes, for me. Death or dying, I feel like that's intermediate. Robots and aliens, definitely aliens. Social media, not so much me. Moving forward, you have babies and birth. That's a nightmare. Disasters. You have unable to find a bathroom. That's a top 10 dream. Haven't happened to me. And if this does happen, wake up, because you might want to double check. You probably getting ready to use it on yourself. You have the fire. You have buildings. You have being chased, top 10 dream. I do get that a lot. Family. Ooh. Again, not touching that. Unfamiliar secret or unused room. That's also a top 10 dream. Work. Deceased people. Paralysis. Accidents. You have technology. Food or drink. Children. You have cheating on a partner. Clothes. Demon or monster. And then you also have actor or celebrity. So that is the Dream Tarot. And again, this doesn't come with a book just because the wording is on the back. So that's kind of nifty. And then again, Oracle. It's all up to interpretation. It's all up to intuition. Next, we have the Earthcraft Oracle. And as you can see who it's made by. So I'll just sit this book here off to the side. And so this is kind of what the backs look like. And so these cards go over Spirit Weaver. You have Transform with Raven. You have Gatherer. You are Sacred. Inner Healer. Soul Lost. River Woman. Balance. Birch. You have Spirit of the West. I think these will look really nice with the transparent oracles. I wonder if this is the same kind of influence. But I'll look into that further, because again, I just got these. So abundance, you have ceremony, prayer, offering, rise, sacrifice, run with wolves, fern, sacred temple, prophetic dreams, plant seed, spirit of the north, drought, thunderstorm, forest tears, spirit of the south, seer, karmic debt, ivy, forest bathing, the ancients, the mountain, light, wild winds, warrior woman, death, medicine woman, spirit of the east, sight of owl, spiritual journey, darkness, accept your gifts, the shifts, and then the womb. And I will also mind you, if you haven't caught on already, these were not in order. Because again, they were gifted to me. They are being rehomed. I have to cleanse these and work with them and everything like that. They were gifted to me from a friend. You know who you are, and I thank you very much for the gifts. And so now I'm going to get into, for the girlies who are in the broom closet, so to speak, or who has kind of like a tighter to lower kind of budget. These are all with tax. Essentially, you're probably going to spend anywhere from $106 to $154. I don't know, $1.54. So you might have seen I've used these in a video before, so I'm just going to go through these. I've wrote on these because these are like my practice. These are my starting cards with reading regular playing cards, and so you see a lot of writing on these. I don't pay attention to the affirmations on them. I don't really use these for the affirmations on them just because the script on here is horrible. The scripts could have been done in a better font, and unfortunately a larger font too. I think they should have did this in a clearer font instead of using a script font, but it is what it is. But as you can see, they're just regular little playing cards. They're pretty small. They're probably about the size of these Lenormands, as you can see, about the same size. So these aren't anything special. They're just regular little playing cards. And I wouldn't play with these just because I wrote on them. Somebody would be like, what the freak is all this scripted stuff on it? Unless I was with some other witchy girls or something, and then it would be like, okay, well, we can play with these, and you know, we're probably doing some kind of game or some ritual thing or something like that. I wouldn't have mind using it, but neither here nor there. And so then we have the what is these, like the gemstone, the visual crystal healing guide. Now these I would use for something, for like, I'll probably use these in like future videos for pick-a-piles or something. But again, these are some regular playing cards. I could just, you know, put these in my pocket or something like that and walk out the door, and nobody will really think much of it. But these the script in this one is pretty clear, and if you also are trying to know kind of like the symbology or the essential keywords that come with these crystals and things like that, the gemstones, you can use it. So like on here it has agate, stability, grounding, supportive. You have smoky quartz, letting go, surrendering, grounding. You have lepidolite, peace, tranquility, and restful sleep. Aquamarine, fluidity, soothing, go with the flow. Snowflake obsidian, self-reflection, protection, and growth. Tourmaline, calmness, stabilizing, and reaffirming. I do not know how you pronounce this one. Chesedoni, harmony, brotherhood, and goodwill. Obsidian, one of my favorite, self-reflection, protection, and growth. We have bloodstone, courage, vitality, energizing. Diamond, my birthstone, purity, truth, and perfection. Adventuring, good luck, manifestation, and optimistic. You have the abalone, calming, soothing, healing. I also like to think of it as amplifying. Sardonyx, happiness, stability to marriage and partnership. You have malachite, transformation, openness, and love. Malachite also for me brings grounding and I don't know, it makes me think of sea too because of the coloring. You have pearl, love, trust, and emotional healing. Titanium aura, balance, energizing, and refreshing. Jade, also another favorite of mine, wealth, success, and wisdom. You have the blue beryl, creative energy and calmness. Ruby, wealth, wisdom, and success and love. Amazonite, fluidity, playful and optimistic. You have the labradorite, limitless potential and sleeping soundless. Opalite, clear thinking, new beginnings, and childlike glee. Opal, happiness, faithfulness, and loyalty. Tiger's eye, building courage and attracting wealth. You have the kyanite, sight, tranquility, and meditation. Also purification. Hematite, grounding, practicality, and courage. You have blue quartz, creativity, expression, and peace. I also think of the blue quartz as something you'll have by your bedside for dream work as well, if you do that. You have lava stone, balance, calmness, and strength. Pyrite, very brittle, be careful. Wealth, success, and protection. Blue howlite, awareness, confidence, and calmness. You have the angel aura, happiness, beauty, and joy. Amber, luck, courage, and self-confidence. Sapphire, wisdom, virtue, and good fortune. You have the rainbow fluorite, peace, wishes, and calming. Topaz, love, passion, and purpose. You have the selenite, cleansing yourself and your space. You have moonstone, intuition, dreams, energy, and passion. Sodalite, communication, harmony, and trust. Amethyst, another popular one for the crystal girlies. Peace, intuition, and spirituality. Also very good for headaches. I don't care what anybody say. Blue lace, agate, stability, grounding, and supportive. Peridot, effervescent, joy, and happiness. Or even just like spiritual headaches. It's just good for headaches though. Carnelian, creativity, confidence, and passion. Antigerite, flow, intuition, and bloom. Garnet, passion, energy, and health. Appetite, inspiration, satisfaction, and motivation. Serpentine, regeneration, luck, and healing. You have alexandrite, energy, power, and passion. You have the rhodonite, which is forgiveness, love, and emotional healing. Love that one. The rose quartz, love, trust, and emotional healing. Citrine, happiness, joy, and light. I agree. Emerald, protection, love, and wisdom. And then you have the yellow jasper, wealth, success, and wisdom. And so those are the 52 cards for, again, and you could get these at Five Below. They're like in their little dollar card bucket. You can get them at Five Below. Look up some tutorials or, a book or something about how to read traditional playing cards, because this was the way that typically black people would do divination during slave trade. Nobody would think much of it, just playing cards. And or you can just also use it just kind of understanding, using with in culmination the gemstones as well. So that's that one. I probably need to practice with these more. This is probably like the least utilized out of the two. I'm not really into the astrology thing. Like, again, I'll use it as a barometer or something like that. I'm not into all of this. I need to do more studying. That's kind of like a weakness of mine. It's like half of these in here, I probably can't even tell you where the freak they are in the sky. Okay, so, but for those who may be into it, they showcase the Pegasus, the Horologium, Pictor, Centaurus, Serpens. I want to say, is this Pisces? That does not look like Pisces. I think they spelled that wrong. Grus. You have Lepus, Auriga, Taurus, Canis Major, Capricorn, Perseus, Corona Borealis, Rigel Centaurus, Cygnus, Ursa Major, the best one of them all, Aries, the Ursa Minor. You have the Voops, you have Phoenix, you have the Chameleon, Aquarius, Lupus, you have the Pyrus, Monosaurus, Cepheus, Corvus, Delphinus, Corona Australis, Satan's armpit. You have Pablo, let me stop. Apis, you have Telescopium, I don't know what this script is. Is this Fineb Katos? That's like a F, but okay. Vela, you have the Hydra, you have the Crux, Aquila, you have Cancer, you have Hercules, you have Draco, Big Draco. You got the Musca, Carina, you have the Pictus Atris, you have the Puppis, you have Virgo, you have Leo, you have Orion, you have Canis Minor, you have Gemini, Sagittarius, and Cetus. So they kind of go over a few star formations here. So again, if you're a girly, you love astrology, this is really important to you. You can do a lot with the astrology, because you know each sign comes with their own things, their ruling planets, their timing. You could do a lot with this deck if you know. So influence. This is a good deck if you're starting out and you're really into astrology. Like, you could do a heck of a lot with this outside of just doing the typical divination that you would with playing cards of, like, you know, oh, we know the fours represent beds and stuff like that, you know. So that's one thing. And then for the final deck of playing cards, and again, all four of these decks, Five Below. I'm telling you, only like $1 something a piece, and you have 4 decks right there that you could layer on top of each other. And so again, this one is the Foraging Encyclopedia. So, and you could throw them in your back pocket and not think a thing. Nobody will think anything. So this one has gooseberry. I don't know if you really want me to read the small print, but I'll just say gooseberry, the chanterelle, black truffles, so delicious, mackey berry, you have sunflower, acerola, soy, chicory, parsley, St. John's wort, rice, you have lentils, those are delicious, sorghums, cucumber, Arjuna plant, red clover, bell pepper, you have burdock, okra, which I can't wait to grow again, cranberry, dill, you have the goji, you have the acai. Can I just go off on a tangent? I freaking love acai berries, but the way that we harvest them are so horrible. As a consumer, I feel bad when I eat them, but oh my god, I love acai berries. But okay, buckwheat, dandelion, ginseng, ginkgo biloba, you have dog rose, turmeric, one of the best things ever, potatoes, rucola, eggplant, delicious, porcini, alfalfa, very good. If you're a witch girl, you know alfalfa got some powers. Hot peppers, button, calendula, licorice, peas, plantains, okay? You have the shiitake, you have the morel, you have garlic, you have corn, you have the, I don't know how you say this, but enokataki, I think that's the Japanese one, oyster, nettle, tomato, fenugreek, you have your peanuts, blueberries, and then the honey agaric. Okay, and they all come with like little things at the bottom as well. And again, this could be something you could utilize, especially if you're a foraging girl, you really mess with the fauna and everything like that. You can add the added layer of just, okay, for example, this is what the 9 of diamonds represent when you're reading it traditionally, but you know, add a layer of like, okay, the honey agaric, you know, it's essentially like tarot cards. So yeah. And so those are for the girlies that's starting out, or, you know, just kind of like low budget, want to do something with those. And now for the grand finale, we're going to start getting into my purchases from, so you can see these here. These are the ones I purchased during the Llewellyn sale. Okay. I have a problem. And the first step to dealing with that problem is admitting that you have a problem. So I'm admitting I have a problem. Now, is it going to change? Probably not. But I am admitting it. Okay? So, yes. Which one do I want to open first? I think we're going to say the Tarot Z. Oh, no, let's say the in-between last. I think a lot of people really like that deck. I, however, got these because I felt like I needed some more. Okay, I have light and fluffy oracles now. I need some dark oracles. And so, lo and behold, I came across these two and they were on sale. You don't have to twist my arm. I'm getting it. First and foremost, I think let's do the dark mirrors. I will say I am very excited for these, but let's do the dark mirrors first. So my handy dandy scissors. Please be careful, children. Have an adult on site when opening your quartz in such a professional manner, okay? Because my shears are very sharp. Like, I have cut myself so much with these, it's not even funny. Oh, dark mirrors. Okay. And so as you can see, just a little slide box. You have, and it does have a pull here, a pull tab, so you can get those out of there. Oh, more shrink wrap for me to cut myself with. Okay, there we go. So, and so let's see here, the book. So it's a Los Scatterable card, or Los Scatterables. I don't know, Scarabills. Los Scarabeo. So these are some Los Scarabeo cards. So they come in like 6 different languages. Don't shoot me. I want to say Italian, French, Russian. What is that one? I don't know what. It's not Brazilian. Portuguese? They speak Portuguese in Brazil, I think. Let me see. What is this one? Okay, so I want to say Portuguese, Spanish, and then English. Let me know if I was close. I probably was nowhere near it, but yeah. So you have. Oh, and these also come. I don't know if you can see that it comes with moon cycles, moon phases. So it comes with moon phases, a key sentence you should ask when doing these, kind of like a key wording, and then kind of the deeper explanation. So it has the timing, the moon phase. Yeah, so these are probably good for things like when you're doing ritualistic things as well. I could also see the dark mirror being good without like really looking deep into this. I could see them being good for like dream cards as well. They're probably also good for when you're doing again, Akashic readings, because for at least for me, Akashic readings and when I'm doing like dream work, they go hand in hand. So you have, okay, these are a little on the thin side, it seems like. But they're not. Maybe it's the coating. They feel thin, but then when you snap them, it doesn't seem like it. But okay. So you have the Triumph of Lies, the Temple of My Body, Obsession, Is This Me, Gilded Regret. Let's put these here. You have Alone in the World, Sacrifice. You have The Child I Was Meant to Be, Envious, Gluttony, Colorless Angel, Addicted, Artificial Heart, Blinded to Pain, Hiding Your True Self, Masquerade, Black Flower Fragrance, Forgetting Oneself, Naked Before the Stars, Parasite, Dowcast Pride, Bride in a Cage, I Won't Cry for You, Revenge, Queen of My World, Fated to Suffer, Peaceful Among Thorns, Fragmentation, Perchance to Dream, Anger and Chains, Calling the Storm, Atonement, and then Today for Tomorrow. I think this is a good one to end it on. To end this deck on, at least. I want to see Today for Tomorrow. What is that? What is that getting into? That seems a little interesting. Hope is in the present. It's the brick we use to build on the future. Mother and daughter, or maybe twins, or the same person in different times. Red hair, a black dress, standing at the top of some stairs under the moon in the wind. The key sentence is, I want some, I want it later. Gently. The going dark. Or like a deeper description is, it reads, it may seem like a trade-off to sacrifice the present in order to secure a better future. That's what ants do. Or to sacrifice the future to enjoy a better present. Cicadas do this. Either choice holds a bitter taste. It's like watching a child play. Shouldn't she study? And if she were studying, wouldn't she regret not playing more? You meet a person you are attracted to, you do go past it and let it stay in the fantasy, or you make a move and follow through the ephemeral ending. The endless choice between regret and remorse. What if, for once, we turn our backs to the dark? We do the unexpected and we shred it like a used dress. We can walk by the sea as no one is around and we skinny dip out of our worries. The present and the future are one single integrated connection. There is no choice because the role is only one. What we are today and what we are tomorrow may be different, but it is the same person. Yeah, so just reading that, to be honest, and sorry, this is just first initial reaction to this. I don't think I will be relying on the book much for this. I think I am going to be relying heavily on the imagery, because from what I just read, wouldn't have got that from that. I probably would have got the first initial key sentence from that. I was definitely thinking other realmy stuff, or like what they call that, multi-universe type stuff. All that other stuff at the bottom, the going darker, no, I wouldn't have did that. So that's my first initial reaction, but we'll see when I work with these some more, when I run it through the paces, if I'll change my mind. But yes, that is the Dark Mirror. The ones I am excited about, Mausolea. That's how I would say it, Mausolea. The Oracle of Souls. So the reason why I'm interested in this one is because I think I've said this a couple times on a few readings. I am really into, I guess you can say theology, the study, the study of religions, I love kind of like, what do you call it, like, I guess you would say conspiracies of religions and stuff like that, why they started. Is the stories that were told, are they the same thing? Were certain things lost in translation or couldn't be explained because, we're merely humans. So this one kind of goes over a few religious figures. Like, I know they have, I cannot say it right. It's I want to say Ereshkigal is a Sumerian figure. So yeah, but they kind of go over some religious figures in here too, or gods and goddesses of tale. So let's see here. Again, they give you some spreads. It's a low scarabeo, so it comes in like 6 different languages. Right, so like they got Lilith in here. They have Ereshkigal. They have, Morgan. You hear about her a lot in like Arthurian legend and things like that. So again, let's cut on this line here. Again, children, be careful when opening your cards. You don't want to cut them up. You don't want to cut yourself up. So again, let's pull that tab off. So I definitely see me using this deck a lot. So you have Abraham, and it comes with a few key words at the bottom. Again, it kind of goes over what their job or purpose as a religious or I am mystical tale. They're not. It's not theological, or they're supernatural beings. We'll say that. Then you have a traveler. You have a thinker. You have the exile, the maestro. At first glance, that made me think of kind of like a Thoth, poet of Avon. Oh wait, two of these stuck together. This was kind of thick. Hades. Why they have him as Lord of the Riches? Not okay. I have to look into that. Then caretaker of the lost. I think I've heard of that one. Chiron the ferryman. Mother of Zorn the emissary. Thanatos, the warden of Deep. Nyx, enchantress of night. Aram, master of the great hunt. I would have definitely thought maybe, oh my god. That's not Demeter, is it? That's the... I'm getting all the legends mixed up. Anyways, author, the champion of Avalon. Morrigan, and then you have Morgan Le Fay. You have Danu. I need to read up more on her. We'll talk about that another day. Don, the Red Shepherd. You have Ereshkigal. You have the Prince. I wonder if they're talking about the Prince of Hell. That's what I would have thought of. You have Lilith. You have the Martyr. Eternal Servitor. Lady of Mask. Osiris. You have the Matriarch. The Golden Empress. Hathor. Anubis, one of my favorites. You have Set. El Shaddai. You have Abaddon. Jean the Maid. The Leper King. Makes you think of King Midas. You have the Ageless. And then the Keeper of Whispers. So let's see here. Let's see where the page is going to flip to. Okay, we got to Thanatos, Warden of Dis. The son of night and darkness, Thanatos supports the rest of the deities of Hades in their duties, filling whatever need is required. The god of endings, he sees all things through to completion, serving those who require service. In line with the ultimate goals of the realm and its master, Thanatos teaches us that it is not always leadership where satisfaction and worthiness is found. There is often greater satisfaction in seeing a good thing completed for others than in chasing glory, fame, or credit. Done after all is better than perfect. Domains, completion, support, and expediency. I can see why they put the Thanatos for me. Great. I'm just always in servitude. That's what it seems like. It's nice. It can be nice to be of service to people though. So don't get me wrong. But yes, I can definitely see me using this a lot. Especially like with my Tarot Divine or something like that. I can see me using this a lot. So that's that one, just a quick snippet. Mausolea, Oracles of Souls. Now, lo and behold, one of the fan favorites, a Tarot Z. Again, boys and girls, we're going to be careful as we open this. Gotta cut the box just slightly. But there we go. The Tarot Z by Alejandro Colucci. I hope I pronounced your name right. This opens very much like the Tarot of Opposition. So yeah, it's very, very similar to the Tarot of Oppositions. So if anybody is wondering why I wanted to get this one, I've kind of always wanted to, kind of like a really dark, morbid kind of tarot deck. And so what's better than zombies, right? And so that is why I decided to get this deck, and I hope I'm not going to be sorely disappointed. And so it does come with the little whole card. Same thing as like with the Tarot of Oppositions. And this is what the back of it looks like. Just a hand coming out the ground. Doesn't really work if you do reversals, but with this deck you may not need to do reversals because it is just so dark. Let's see. Pretty good on the stock, I guess. Traditional mass market kind of deck. And so this is the Fool. It just has the happy smiley face in it. The Magician. Rising from the dead. The Priestess. You have the Empress. And then the Emperor. The Hierophant. So this one does not come labeled, so I'm trying to remember what these are. You have the Lovers. The Chariot. I do not remember what this one is. Ooh, what is A? Nine is the Hermit. Make sure these aren't sticky. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune. You have Justice. You have Hangman. You have the Devil. Okay, Temperance. Did I say the Devil? Death. Sorry, Death, the Devil. You have the Tower. Tower. What comes after the Tower? The Star. The Moon. The Sun. And then I want to say, oh, what is that one? You know, the one where you're getting called home. I forget. And then I know you have the World. You have the Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Cups, Five of Cups. I really like the Six of Cups. The imagery on the Six of Cups, that looks really good. You have the Seven of Cups. They put a grave on, is that the London Bridge? That's what it looks like. Eight of Cups. Ooh, she ain't letting go. You have the Nine of Cups. It's kind of funny on here. The Nine of Cups is depicted as, it kind of reads like gluttony to me. You have the Ten of Cups. Knight of Cups. Page of Cups. Or wait, I think his is different. They did this one different. So I want to say, is this warrior or soldier, and then this one is the knight, and then they have queen, and then they have the king. Yeah, so I want to say it's soldier, knight, queen, king. That's how I'm going to do it until I read the book. And then you have coins. Two of coins. Three of coins. You have the Four of coins. 5. 6 of coins. You have the 7 of coins. 8 of coins. You have the 9. I really like this 10 of coins. I don't know if any of you played or play the zombie portion on like Call of Duty, but this was like something off a board from there. And then you have the soldier, the knight. I really like that they're riding a bull. The queen, and then the king. And then you have the ace of wands or clubs. Right? I think he has it depicted here. Then the 2, 3 of clubs, 4 of clubs, 5, 6 of clubs, 7 of clubs, 8, 9 of clubs, and the 10 of clubs. And then you have the soldier. Oh, again, I like the knight and the clubs. Oh, the queen looks pretty scary there. You have the king. And then you have the swords, my favorite part of a deck. Of any tarot deck, the swords. They're always something good. If you don't know sarcasm. Sarcasm. You have the ace of swords, 2 of swords, 3 of swords. This 4 of swords is spooky. It's like a scary hand reaching up on the bed to get them. Ooh. You have 5 here. 6. Have the 7 there. The 8 of swords, very appropriate. What was the 7? Yeah. Then you have the 9. Over and come bed for sure. The 10. Then you have the soldier. Oh, this one is really nice on a gargoyle. The knight. And then you have the queen and the king. And so that is the Tarot Z. Really interesting there. Okay. I gotta use this one and see what I get. This is a little stiff to start off shuffling when you first get it, so definitely break it in. They're a little stiffy. And I think it's probably because of the laminate that's on it or whatever. Excuse me. Let's see, what's a card I should read? I should really get familiar with. Okay, my thumb decided that was it. The 3 of coins. It would be something religious. Okay, let's see here. The 3 of coins. The 3 of coins. The 3 of pentacles. Alright. And so it reads, zombies work best in packs where they can overpower food sources. One lone walker can do some damage, but their bodies are slow. Their uncoordinated limbs struggle to find purchase on slick clothing. Their hunger drives them. They must feed on fresh meat and blood. They push out with one foot, dragging the other behind. Uncoordinated limbs thrash out, seeking the objects of their desires. They act on instinct, normal senses, dull and broken. If they cannot grab a hold of their food fast enough, the food fights back, ending their hunger. One bite from an open mouth is all it takes to bring the food down. Coordinated defeating requires collaboration and teamwork. Keywords: commitment to a singular cause. Teamwork is the key to success. Work in harmony with others. Create a solid foundation. Integrate the skills you have. And so that was the message with that one. And so again, that is the Tarot Z. Again, I'm going to look forward to using these. I don't know what type of readings I will use this for exactly, unless it is something dealing with the dead. I could see that being a thing. Someone who's passed over, or dealing with, readings of the dark nature. I could see me using this, but again, this is why you get decks, and I think it's very useful to interview them, because you may get a different answer from the deck itself on kind of like how you two can work together. So I advise that. But again, that's the Tarot Z, and I look forward to using it. So yeah. And then last but not least is the In Between Tarot by Janine Worthington and Franco Rivoli. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm here for the black people. Okay, as Issa Rae would say. I'm rooting for everybody black in this deck. Even though they only the wands, but I'm rooting for everybody black in this deck. And you know, I love a good book like this when it's a good size book. Oh, when it comes with some personal notes, it gives you some words on reversals, some spreads, using the deck with larger spreads, how to kind of use next steps. You got spreads, and then it goes into each one. And even though this is a low Scarabeo, this doesn't come with a bunch of different languages. It looks like, yeah, this is all. Oh yeah, I'm gonna read the freak out this book. And as you can see here, it's also indigenous people in here as well. So yeah, I'm about to read the freak out this book. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And it goes over like setting the scene, symbology within the cards. The in-between decks or concepts. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. What else do they have here? The use of numerology. Now, if you a card deck reading heifer like me, this is going to come in handy. You got the use of symbology. If you're also into, what do they call it? Is it tetramancy or like geomancy? Pretty much just the organization of shapes and what the symbology and the meaning of them. You may also like that as well. Stick with card family. Okay. So I think this is very interesting. And this is something I always say when I get a deck. I typically do not like to read the book until after I've kind of got my own meaning of the card sometimes. Unless it's something where I get stumped on it, like I'm not sure what the author was trying to portray in this particular imagery. And I will go to the deck. And, you know, oftentimes when you're doing readings, you're not always recalling everything the author or the creator meant when they did the depiction of that tarot card or oracle deck or oracle card, and you get your own meaning or interpretation, or, you know, if you're, you know, your higher self or something telling you, no girl, that's not what this card is saying, even though it clearly states that they're supposed to be getting money. It really means they about to be losing money. So sometimes you get meanings and interpretations that's not even freaking there, or understood when you initially look at the card. So you have to go with your gut. So I always tell the girlies that. Now look how big this book is compared to the deck. I was expecting the cards to be a little bigger. That's what he said. I'm a child. And so then we're gonna cut here. Be careful when opening your cards, folks. Kids, be careful. Okay. And so again, you have your placeholder cards here, and then they also have, you know, I usually like to use these for bookmarks. Am I the only one? I'll repurpose them as bookmarks or something. But this is the back of the deck. A nice, skinny, typical tarot size deck. And of course, the whole point between the in-between tarot is capturing the moment in between the cards. So you'll have something like the Hierophant and say the Lovers. I think, right? I keep wanting to put them two together, right? Don't tell me I'm wrong. Right. So you have something like the Hierophant and the Lovers, and it's showing the Hierophant marrying them, because you know that also can be the marriage card. But yes, so this is the moment just after the Fool jumps off from the cliff, and now he's being helped along by the Magician. You have the Magician coming to the High Priestess for more information or guidance on how to cast their magic. When the High Priestess and the Empress come together, you know some shit is jiving, baby, okay? You have the Empress and the Emperor. Of course, they are in collaboration with one another. They are ruling a kingdom. You have the Emperor and the Hierophant. And I think this is kind of fitting, because to me this is some typical warlike energy. I think of oftentimes the many empires back, times past, where let's look at King Henry. What is that, the 8th? I'm not sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a history buff, but I want to say it was King Henry. He decided to separate from a whole church and stuff, because he I should be the top head dog, and nobody should be telling me what to do. Like, I'm gonna separate from y'all so I can marry who I want to marry and leave who I want, and so forth. So yeah, typical war stuff for me. Hierophant, the Lovers, like I was saying earlier, and then you have the Lovers and the Chariot. They getting ready to leave, baby. And then you have the Chariot and Strength card. To me, this is like I gotta pray to the ones above before I go to war. And then you have the Strength and the Hermit. This reminds me of that scene from 300 when King Leonidas went to the who was those people? What were they called? The oracles or whatever. In order to get permission to go to war with the Persians. And they were like, well, we have to convene with the gods, and they took forever, so they just went off to war. That's kind of like what that made me think of. Then you have the Hermit and the Wheel. You have the Wheel and Justice. You have Justice and the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man and Death. You have Death and Temperance. That's probably going to be my favorite one so far. You have Temperance and the Devil. The Devil and the Tower. The Tower and the Star. The Star and the Moon. You have the Moon and the Sun. Sun and Judgment. Judgment and World. The World's going back into the Fool, because as you know, it is all cyclical. It goes right back into the other. It is also supposed to, be depicting the level up that you are doing when you ascend and ascend and ascend and ascend, and you have to kind of go through those stories. So yes, moving that to the side. So then we have the Ace of Cups into the 2, the 2 of Cups into the 3. And here's another thing that I like too, and this is probably, I'm probably like one of the few people who have said this, if not one of the only. Have you noticed? So I do like that this has inclusion, is diverse, right? But have you noticed most of the time when you look at tarot cards, they usually depict, this is my tangent, they usually depict black people or people of color, whether, when I think of indigenous Indians or, us as black people, it's always a depiction of us kind of like, oh, if you're going to be depicted in a deck as some kind of inclusion diversity thing, is typically as Africans, when before white influence, or typically the people of color are always on like the Wands card, like very primitive. And I get tired of that. It's kind of redundant. I kind of hate that. I would rather see more. I would really want to see like an Afro-futuristic kind of deck. And that is just always showing us, it's like, oh, you're primitive. Oh, you're passion. You are the wands. But it doesn't always show us happy. But in this one, I am happy that they do depict black people as the cups, as happy, as water. So yes, I like that. Sorry, that was my tangent. And so then you have the 4 going into the 5. You have the 5 going into the 6. The 6 into the 7. The 7 into the 8. the 8 into the 9, and then the 9 into the 10, and then it cycles back around into the 10 into the 1, into the Ace of Cups. And so then it shows how the page becomes the Knight. The Knight interacts with the Queen, how the Queen interacts with the King, and how the King interacts with the Page. Ace into the 2 of coins, 2 into the 3 of coins, 3 into the 4 of coins, 4 into the 5 of coins, 5 into the 6 of coins, 6 into the 7 of coins, 7 into the 8 of coins, 8 into the 9 of coins, the 9 of coins into the 10, and then the 10 of coins going back into the Ace, because it's all cyclical again. And so then you have the Page going into the Knight, how the Knight deals with the Queen giving birth to the King, and then the King dealing with the Page. And so now we are going into the Ace of Wands into the 2 into the 3 of Wands, the 3 into the 4 of Wands. You have the 4 into the 5 of Wands. You have the 5 into the 6 of Wands, the 6 into the 7 of Wands, the 7 into the 8 of Wands, the 8 into the 9 of Wands. Yeah, make sure they weren't sticking there. The 9 into the 10 of Wands, the 10 into the Ace of Wands. And so now we have the Page and going into the Knight of Wands, graduating into the Knight. And now the Knight will become the Queen into the King. And then the King will be leading their Page back. Then you have the Ace of Swords into the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Swords into the 3, the 3 into the 4 of Swords, the 4 into the 5 of Swords, the 5 into the 6 of Swords, the 6 into the 7 of Swords, the 7 into the 8 of Swords. You have the 8 into the 9 of Swords, the 9 into the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Swords into the Ace. And then you have the Page into the Knight into the Queen. I don't like this depiction for the swords. The Queen of Swords into the King, and then the King of Swords into the Page of Swords. So yeah, maybe I need to look back at that one, because yeah, I didn't really like. Yeah, I don't get those, but maybe it's a story in there in the book, and I'll read it. But yes, that is the In Between Tarot. And let's see here. Let's see what I'm gonna get. Let's shuffle these really good. Okay, these are easier to shuffle than the Tarot Z. Fresh out the box, you know. Okay, easy to shuffle. Okay, let's see here. Very nice to overhand shuffle with as well. Okay, so I got 2 cards here. So one in the reverse and one in the upright. And funny enough, it's the swords. It's the 5 of Swords and 4 of Swords, or it's the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. What am I surrendering to? That's what I'm getting. Or is it don't surrender? Don't give up until the fat lady sings. That's what I'm getting. But yes, let's see. Let's grab the book here and see what it says. Alright, so I have the Four of Swords, right? So the Four of Swords, they say the Romans are unknowingly about to come under attack. The Scottish Picts defeated them and have broken their formation. Unbeknownst to the soldiers, they have been betrayed by one of their own who left to inform the Picts of their arrival while they slept. The Picts are completely different to the Romans. They have bold tattoos, long hair, and carry axes, bows, and arrows. The Romans' arrival is threatening to them, and they intend to see them off. The full facts are not revealed at first to the Roman captain. This in-between state is a shock realization that something has gone horribly wrong. There is no time to fully comprehend the betrayal that has taken place. Woo! So, for this, for me, I wonder why they don't depict more of the females, because as far as I knew, I thought it was more of the females that were like the tacticians in that. But maybe I understand that wrong. Whatever. And so this one here says the Eight of Swords. So it reads, the Roman captain has been captured and is tied to a post. The Picts have surrounded the captain, who is helpless and about to be sacrificed. For someone who is usually so strong, he feels broken. This in-between stage brings a feeling of numbness. He now knows there is no escape and he is accepting of his fate. In this in-between stage, we have hit the lowest point we can expect to find ourselves. We are trapped and lost in our anxiety and painful thoughts. For the time being, we have to try and distance ourselves remotely from what is causing us pain. All right. I'm accepting something. Okay, cool. Okay. And what I'm going through right now in life is this. So that is that. But again, that's the in-between tarot. I am probably going to work with a couple of these for over the next few readings and just kind of like get familiar with them. But of course, first I'm going to take some time and put them through the paces and see how I should be utilizing them, or, you know, what I'm getting more so called to do with them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my haul overall. Can't wait to use it. It's going to be interesting. And I'll see you all back here on a new reading. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But yeah, with that, I'll close out and I'll see you all in the next video.